SportsCenter all night. The Astros tie things up at 1 apiece heading to Atlanta.
The throw gets away to the backstop. Siri will score.
And a full slate of action on the hardwood.
How are we going to function at our highest level when those guys are on the court together?
Plus the latest from the NFL.
You go out there, you're scared, you're timid. That's how you really get hurt, seriously. And so I can't do that.
This is SportsCenter all night.
I put a picture of a flower up, right, and that it's coming through the ground, and the roots are growing out, and the roots are continuing to grow out.
Here's Jay Reynolds.
Oh, how the story has changed for Thursday Night Football. That's straight ahead. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. A night ago, Game 1 of the World Series, seeing a 5-run burst of runs coming in the first couple of innings. Game 2 Wednesday playing out much the same way, although the roles were reversed. Houston scoring on a sac fly in the first. Travis d'Arnaud ties it for Atlanta with a homer in the top of the second. Then things really got interesting in Houston.
And swinging a weak ground ball past the mound. It'll go out to Albies at second. Throw to first. Not in time. Siri beats it out. Tucker in to score. Gurriel up to second. All kinds of emotion from Siri. Give him an RBI on the infield hit, and the Astros have a 2-1 lead. Max Fried in a jam here in the second inning. A run in, 2 men on with a 1 out. And the 1-1, a slider pulled through the hole into left field, a base hit. Gurriel around third, he'll come in to score. Siri to third, the throw gets away to the backstop. Siri will score. Maldonado to second. And it is 4-1 Houston. And the pitch, curveball, and it's lined into right, a base hit. Michael Brantley doing Michael Brantley things. In to score Maldonado. It is 5-1 Astros.
And with 2 strikes. I mean, that's where we've seen a bulk of the hits for these Astros.
Astros adding another run in the 6th and then tacking on a little more insurance in the 7th.
Smiley on the season, 11-4 with a 4.48 ERA is the first pitch that he throws to Jose Altuve is cranked out of the ballpark. Man, oh man, did Altuve get all of that. Hit it down the left field line for a home run to extend the lead. And it is 7-2 for the Astros.
7-2 at that point. Houston closing it out from there with a 7-2 win in Game 2. Astros first team to win a World Series game in their home park in over 1,000 days. Astros 4 of the 7 runs and 5 of the 9 hits coming in the second inning. Jose Altuve, 22nd career postseason homer, tying Bernie Williams for the second most in postseason history. Altuve spoke with our Buster Olney.
Jose, Dusty said he felt like you guys were a little bit flat in Game 1. How did Game 2 feel differently to you?
I think we were a little bit more aggressive, but at the same time controlling the zone, and it works pretty good for us.
Jose Siri was put in the lineup today to add energy. What'd you see in him?
Yeah, he brings a lot of energy when he's in the lineup or in the dugout. He's the kind of guy that you want to have in your team. He's going to play hard. He got a big hit today, hit the single to second base. That was huge and big moment, and we could score some run after that.
22 home runs in the postseason in 75 games. Why did he turn to Jeff Bagwell this time of year?
I don't know, like I said many times, I'm just trying to help my team. We all know how important it was to win tonight, and, I'm happy and thankful with the fans, with everybody that's supporting us right now.
What was it like to see a fastball in the first pitch in that home run?
It was good, I was looking for something on the zone that I can drive, and I got it, and I'm very happy I hit it out.
Jose Altuve, 8th career playoff game with multiple extra base hits. 3rd career World Series homer, tying Pablo Sandoval for the most homers by a Venezuelan-born player. Jose Urquidy gets the win. 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, struck out 7, gets his 2nd career World Series victory. The game, of course, was here on ESPN Radio. Our crew, Jessica Mendoza, Eduardo Perez, alongside Dan Schulman, who had the call in Houston. Dan?
Jay, thank you very much. Well, an impressive win, a really nice, well-rounded team win, Jess, I think, for the Houston Astros. And it all started, in my mind, with Jose Urquidy just coming out and establishing kind of who was the boss in the very first inning.
It was the night of Jose, because it was Jose Altuve's double that got things going offensively. But I'm with you. I mean, what gets kind of ignored in this is the first inning statement against a big Braves offense. That first inning, he got 3 strikeouts, really solidifying all of his pitches, and he just took that to the rest of the game.
And Eddie, home runs are great. Home runs are the best thing in the world. Home runs win games. But, boy, good things seem to happen for the Astros when they get a guy or two on and they just move people around. The traffic's happening, and all of a sudden it's you can't keep up with them. They're swinging the bats and scoring runs.
Adding pressure. We saw it in the ALDS. What was their ticket to get here? 2-out hitting, being able to put the ball in play with 2 strikes. They have the knack for that. That's who they are. The most important part was Jose Altuve setting the tone early, getting on base. Yeah. We talked about it pregame. They were able to do that. And then Jose Keating took care of it with their bullpen.
Truist Park in Atlanta will be lively on Friday night. The Astros and the Braves now tied up at a win apiece. For Jessica Mendoza and Eduardo Perez, I'm Dan Schulman right here on your home for the World Series, Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Now let's send it back to Jay Reynolds in the studio.
All right, Dan, the Astros are now 6-0 when they score first this postseason. Again, Game 3, Friday. Our coverage begins at 7 o'clock Eastern here on ESPN Radio. Right now, SportsCenter all night.
There's a little bit of a shock factor for sure when it's Devontae.
And if Alan Lazard is not there, and go to somebody else. With that being said, it's going to be tough to beat Arizona at home in Arizona, but it's not impossible.
Not impossible, but the task on Thursday shifting a little bit with the news that came down on Wednesday evening. Time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. ESPN insider Adam Schefter reporting defensive end J.J. Watt will undergo what is likely going to be season-ending surgery on his shoulder. Watt is in his first year with the Cardinals, injured the shoulder in the second quarter this past Sunday, yet still managed to play the rest of the game with that injury. Finished the game with a tackle for a loss, a quarterback hit. The unbeaten Cardinals had ruled Watt out for the game against the Packers when the injury report was released earlier on Wednesday, changing the look of the Week 8 matchup already. Our NFL Live crew, Dan Orlovsky, Keyshawn Johnson, Marcus Spears.
Listen, J.J. Watt is a huge loss because of the pressure interior.
Best run defender right now for them?
Best run defender, but also third in pressure rate in the NFL from interior defensive linemen. So, hey, Aaron Rodgers feels great because not only not having your weapons, it equates to holding the ball longer. Now you don't have to worry about J.J. being in the center of the pocket. That's huge, man.
You mean the offensive line feel great?
Well, they do, but I'm saying Aaron Rodgers know he gonna have to probably hold that thing a little bit longer.
I just think, I started the show talking about this needs to be a double tight end. We are going to run the football again on first down, a little bit old school. This news makes it even more of a case. You really
big
have
game
to
for Aaron Jones.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is a Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon game. We're going to get 35, 40-plus runs.
I got to change my mindset about what I feel about the game.
Uh-oh.
It's a big loss, man.
It's a big loss.
Cardinals hosting the Packers in the matchup for early control of the NFC. Packers, of course, shorthanded because of COVID. They go into the game 6-1. Arizona, the lone unbeaten at 7-0. These two teams producing really the best Thursday night game of the Super Bowl era. It's the highest combined win percentage for a Thursday night game in October or later during the Super Bowl era. First time since the 1970 merger that two teams with at least 13 combined wins meet in Week 8 or earlier. Much more on tonight's matchup coming up on Key J and Max, 6 to 10 Eastern time here on ESPN Radio. Meanwhile, the questions continue about what will happen with Houston. Will they make a trade by the deadline? Will they ship their quarterback out? Tua Tagovailoa is the quarterback in Miami. Dolphins making that clear again on Wednesday. ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Look, if he is traded by Tuesday, it's really only one place or bust, Laura. That's Miami. Miami is the only place that he's going to wind up, and the question is whether or not the trade actually gets done. And there are a lot of things that are at stake here. Obviously, we have the unresolved legal situation that hangs over Deshaun Watson with 22 civil lawsuits, 10 criminal complaints here in regards to sexual misconduct, allegedly. And so Deshaun Watson has maintained his innocence all along, and the league has not found enough evidence to put him on the commissioner's exempt list. So there is a whole lot going on around this, and all sides would have to be satisfied. The Texans would have to be satisfied with the compensation they're getting in return. The acquiring team would have to be comfortable with Deshaun's legal situation, the Dolphins, and Deshaun would have to be comfortable with the place he's going. So they're trying to see if everything can get done by Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, the trade deadline. We'll see whether or not they can get it all done, but there's obviously so many swirling circumstances, so many uncertainties around this that it's difficult to envision whether or not this does get done by the deadline.
If it does get done, Miami appears to be the destination. The Carolina Panthers will not pursue Deshaun Watson with the trade deadline approaching Tuesday. League source confirming that to ESPN on Wednesday. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio. More developments in the hockey world after the scandal that's rocked Chicago. Wednesday, Kyle Beach coming forward as John Doe, the former Blackhawks player who filed a lawsuit against the team for mishandling his sexual assault allegations. Beach is now 31, playing professionally in Germany, revealed himself in what was an emotional interview on TSN.
I reported this, and I was made aware that it made it all the way up the chain of command by Doc Gary, and nothing happened. It was like his life was the same as it was the day before. The same every day. And then when they won, to see him paraded around, lifting the cup at the parade, at the team pictures, at the celebrations, it made me feel like nothing. It made me feel like I didn't exist.
Kyle Beach speaking Wednesday with TSN in Canada. Commissioner Gary Bettman has a meeting with Florida Panthers coach Joel Quenneville on Thursday. Quenneville was at the time the head coach in Chicago. Wednesday, though, he was behind the bench coaching the Panthers. 4-1 win over the Bruins Wednesday as Florida goes to 7-0, but perhaps odd, Quenneville was actually part of the game. Wednesday also seeing the Blackhawks lose at home in overtime to Toronto. ESPN's Emily Kaplan was there.
It was a surreal night at the United Center on Wednesday night as the Blackhawks sex abuse scandal has rocked the hockey world over the last 36 hours. And players in Chicago, including Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane, members of that 2010 team, were still grappling with the ramifications. On Wednesday morning, the team had a meeting with team CEO Danny Wirtz where players were allowed to ask questions. And by Wednesday night, after Kyle Beach publicly revealed himself in an interview with TSN, Toews and Kane were ready to speak. Kane is still in COVID protocol, but he asked the team to zoom in from home because he felt very strongly about speaking tonight.
I'd like to, reach out to him and say that, wish I knew more at that time in that situation. If I could have done anything to help him out or not. But obviously he's been living with this a long time, and takes a lot of courage by him to put, his name behind the story.
At the end of the day, my heart goes out to Kyle for what he dealt with, and wish I could have done something. And, at the end of the day, it's obviously not an excuse looking back, but the truth is a lot of us were focused on just playing hockey and doing what we're doing every single day. And
the ripple effects of this scandal are still being felt, and not just in Chicago. People around the league are engrossed in this story. I talked to one veteran player today who was troubled by just how many people seemingly knew about this by reading the report. And he said if the players weren't standing up for their teammate, if the coach wasn't standing up for them, if management wasn't, if the Players Association wasn't, no wonder he stayed silent for so long. That player said that he was disgusted by it. He called it a colossal fail. And he said this is what happens when you stop treating players like people and you treat them just as pieces to win the Stanley Cup. And speaking of that Stanley Cup, the player asked me a question. He said, is it possible that people's names will be removed from the Stanley Cup if they're implicated in the scandal? And honestly, that's something I don't know the answer to just yet.
The report released on Tuesday concluding that nothing was done by senior leaders in the Blackhawks coaching and management in 2010 after Beach had reported that the team's video coach at the time sexually assaulted and harassed him. This week, team's general manager and vice president of hockey operations both out, and the franchise was fined $2 million. Straight ahead, too many E's already in the World Series? SportsCenter all night at ESPN Radio.
Coming up Thursday, we look ahead to Week 8 in the NFL, including a battle of the game's best running backs in a huge divisional tilt. And the Cowboys come off the bye on Sunday Night Football. That's Thursday morning. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio.
This is SportsCenter All Night.
Man, how can you afford gas for that big SUV?
I pay less for gas than everyone else. I got the free Get Upside Gas app and get up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time I buy gas.
Hold on. You're getting up to 25 cents off a gallon with the free Get Upside Gas app while I'm paying full price?
You know it. People earned over $1 million last year. You just got to take a picture of your gas receipt and bam, up to 25 cents a gallon cash back.
You don't have to tell me twice. I'm downloading the free Get Upside Gas app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code UP for a 25 cent a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next tank. Just download the free Get Upside app at the App Store or Google Play and use promo code UP. Save money on gas on every fill up. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code UP. That's UP. Visit getupside.com for terms.
The Michael K. Show is on.
Don, you have to make a correction to a mistake you made about the back-to-back Stanley Cup.
I forget the Lightning. They just did it, yeah.
How do you miss that?
Oh, come on. You're like the people on Twitter. That's why I want to punch you in the face.
Yes.
You think it's on the table that I'm that stupid. Makes you no different than the Cheeto Dust losers that tweet and jump on every mistake.
Don't miss the Michael K. Show. Weekdays at 3 on 98.7 ESPN.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-511-3535. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider, 800-511-3535. That's 800-511-3535. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-511-3535.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With private healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, give us a call at 800-961-8198. That's 800-961-8198. 800-961-8198.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
The all-new Weekend Wager comes to 98.7 ESPN on Friday nights at 10 p.m. It's presented by BetMGM Sports. Don't be left out of the action.
SportsCenter All Night continues